Welcome to the Terror Dome. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Liberty or Death podcast.
With your host, Twisted Josh.
Where our motto is facts and common sense over your feelings. No. Why do you gotta say that for?
Yo, what's good, guys? What's good? Hey, how's everybody Friday doing? Yeah, mine's going pretty good. Yeah. Podcasting is a hell of a drug. I'll tell you that much right now. Yep. It's a hell of a drug. All right. Today we're gonna be going over this should be a short one. Should be. Today we're gonna be going over there's some news. Dude, this has been a crazy week for news, but you got the Republican debate, which I saw and which I was like, what it wasn't that much impressed. I mean, I know Asia Hutcherson, you know, the only people that stuck out to me the most was Vivek and of course DeSantis, who didn't want to, back to Asia Hutcherson. He all he had to say was that Bush era. He's from the Bush era. So I'm like, yeah, no, wrong. Yeah, buddy. I'm not, yeah, I'm not too privy to vote for you, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and, X you out. Krispy Kreme Christie. Like, really? Like, oh, like, dude, I mean, he looked like he eat himself out of the White House. I mean, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just stating facts because, yeah, it's how it's weird how all of them were most of them were up Trump's ass, and then all of a sudden, no, we gotta you gotta get away from him. So Vivek, I'm gonna tell you this much right now. He reminds me. I was listening to him at work, and I listened to him when he was on I think his name is Steve Ryan. I saw him, like, Steve Ryan interview him. I believe that's his name. I don't know if it's Steve Ryan, but he's it's a Steve Ryan experience or whatever. Yeah, he's on YouTube. He interviewed Vivek one-on-one, and this man sounds so freaking good, man. So good. And then I listened to the Republican debates, and the debate. I haven't got to Tucker and Trump yet, so um, I wanted to listen to him this morning, but I ended up listening to another podcast. But yeah, I was trying to find because I was driving, so couldn't. So anyway, don't recommend that whatsoever. Yeah, and Vivek sounds good, man. I mean, but dude, like I said, I work to myself. He reminds me of Obama. He is just so quick with his words, so precise, and it's like I I had a I'm like I had a feeling like with Obama, it was a bad feeling. It was like, dude, I don't like this dude, period, because the way he was talking. And Obama was a Democrat, Vivek's a Republican, and like I said, I didn't do too much. I haven't done too much research on him, but the way he's sounding, the way I'm going, and I mean, oh, it's not like, it's basically like the Republican Party is changing. Well, it needs to change anyway because we don't need to be these spineless Republicans don't that represent the people, which is us. We don't need to we need people with a backbone. And I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's the old Republican Party it's basically dead. And out with the old, in with the new. You know what I'm saying? We need to be more vicious than the Democrats. That's just the way it is, and that's the way it should be. To be honest with you, um, but Vivek he just sounds so dang good, man. And it's just and that and just he has like it sounds so good that it's scripted. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he is he could be the Obama for the Republican Party. And that's just my opinion. That's, whatever. I don't care what anybody else says, but well, I got to answer for everything and and stuff like that. It's just which is fine, just about, but I just start questioning you. It's like my spidey senses go off. Like, dude, like, yeah, you come from all this, so did Obama, blah, blah. Chris Christie, I'll give him that. He said you're basically almost like like not I'm paraphrasing here, almost like Obama, you know what I'm saying? He's similar to Obama. Mike Pence, yeah, he kind of like I don't, I know it's a debate, but he kind of took jabs at freaking Vivek. But my deal is, Pence, you shouldn't be up there. You should, and quite honestly, you shouldn't even be talking, dude. DeSantis, he's doing all right by Florida. But my deal is that, and I know he's trying to focus on this administration, Biden administration, and not focus on Trump and stuff like that. Which that's the way it should be, to be honest with you. Which I agree with DeSantis on that part. You know what I'm saying? But and Vivek is like doing that to, and Ron DeSantis is like, dude, what the heck? um, Nikki Haley, she's something else. I mean, it's just at first at a certain part of the debate, she kind of like almost sounded like a damn Democrat, but that's what whatever. Tim Scott, uh, I'm not too sold on him. So, yeah, that doesn't and the other dude, I have to look at the other dude because I was like, who the heck is he? I was like, he was on the like right next to Nikki Haley, like the right, I believe the right end of Nikki Haley, and H.R. Hutchinson was on the left. So, yeah, so um, he sounds all right. I think he was from what, not Wyoming or South Dakota or something like that. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. It'll get interesting. But other than that, yeah, that's just my take on the thing without playing you guys. And Vivek's the only person that raised his hand. There was a news article I read. They, they actually said something about um how a couple people raised their hands, and I'm like, I know I saw the debate, and the debate only Vivek raised his hand saying that he would pardon Trump. You know, with Ron DeSantis tried to he veered his way. He danced his way around that question. That question, would he pardon Trump? But you know, um, whatever. But yeah, I'm just I want I want a new leadership in the White House, but I want somebody who's not a who's not a paid politician, stuff like that. And like I said, Vivek, he wows me, but on the same note, it's actually in the middle. Obama, yeah, screw Obama. I knew good and well he was bad from the start. I could just tell. People say, "Oh, you just can't go by feelings." You know that something's up. By gosh, trust your gut instinct, bro, because I guarantee you that's what's gonna save your life. I guarantee you that's the best advice that's the best free advice out there is your intuition. You may be wrong, but when your gut is like saying, "Oh, something ain't freaking right. I just can't put my finger. I just can't." Do believe it. And you know what? Sure enough, yeah, my gut was right. Like I said, 90, maybe 95% of the time, my gut's right. I should listen to my gut. There's plenty of times where I kick myself in the ass. Should have listened to my gut. But anyway, yeah, enough about that. We're moving on, and that's it. So New York. Oh shoot. New York is having a shelter illegals problem. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yep. From Breitbart News, the New York City Council Common Sense Caucus has sent a letter asking the state Supreme Court to amend the right to shelter rules to allow Big Apple officials to turn away immigrants if resources are unavailable to house them. Yeah, that's a big problem, man. They're having a lot of illegals. Excuse me. They have a lot. They have a lot of illegal immigrants in their city, which they rightfully um, deserve because they're sanctuary city. Yep. So anyway, council member Robert Holder, registered Democrat, recently posted his letter to New York Supreme Court Judge Eric Edwards on X, formerly known as Twitter, revealing the request backed by 7 other city council members to amend the state's rule rules requiring officials to pay for shelter for illegals. Hmm. Yeah. Holder's letter let the Supreme Court know that they are supporting the defendants and the city of New York in efforts to seek an amendment in the Callan versus Kerry, which we will discuss what that is for you people out there that may not know what this is. The Cali versus Kerry right to shelter ruling that would allow the city to cease the right to shelter when it lacks the resources and capacity to establish and maintain sufficient shelter sites. Right to shelter wasn't meant for the whole world. We've been at a tipping point for some time and can't continue down this road. The New York City at the New York City Council Common Sense Caucus penned a letter to Judge Edwards asking to ease the burden on New Yorkers by reining in the right to shelter. In the 1979, the Callan versus Kerry decision ensured the right to shelter for homeless people in New York City, but the decades old ruling is woefully outdated, the Common Sense Caucus says. You know what, New York? How about common sense about not being a sanctuary city? That's some common sense for your ass. Yeah, apparently you guys didn't. You guys thought that everybody was gonna every 50 everybody in 50 states was gonna accept the legal immigrants. Eh. Yep, yep. Hey, you make your bed, you sleep in it. So on May 22nd, 2023, Assistant Corporation Counsel Jonathan Pines wrote to the court that New York City was in crisis due to an unprecedented influx of migrants. Oh shit. Which had compelled the city to extend itself further than its resource will allow. The letter reads, placing in jeopardy the city's obligation to provide for the well-being of all its citizens. In the 3 months since the crisis has escalated and the need for relief from this consent decree is more urgent than ever. Our city is long past its breaking point. The group's letter continued. When the parties signed the Callan versus Kerry consent decree 42 years ago, they could not have possibly imagined the dire situation the city finds itself in now, nor did they contemplate that the newly created right to shelter would apply to migrants. Illegal, Bear Breitbart. Come on now, let's call it for what it is. Illegal immigrants. I'm calling illegal immigrants. I know your paper says migrants, but I'm gonna call them illegal immigrants because that's what they are. Who are neither United States citizens nor New Yorkers. The letter said illegal immigrants. Oh, what's it, Joe Biden? Illegal immigrants. The legislation also noted that the right to shelter has been amended several times, including to add certain limits so it's clear that the ruling does not extend the right to shelter anyone under any circumstances for any period of time, they said. So, all right. So, Yeah, they're basically turning on each other. Um, the letter is signed by Holden and Consul, including Joseph Borelli, the Berkowitz, David Carr, Joanna Ariella, Vicky Palladino, and some other few. Um, the case become a hot potato for some New York Democrats. State Attorney General Letitia James, for instance, is refusing to even represent the Democrat governor in the lawsuit seeking to expand the state's right to shelter rules, an expansion that would force the government to fund even more shelters. On the other hand, at least one New York County executive has announced that he won't take any border crossers from New York City Mayor Mayor Eric Adams' right to shelter rules or not. Yep, there you go. Yep, somebody. Yeah, you need to start. You know what I'm saying? There's a time. You should have stood up a long time ago, dude. I mean, like seriously, you should have stood up to Eric Adams a long time ago, bro. Um, and then it goes down and says that on August 12th, Eric County Executive Mark Polagazar demanded that Mayor Adams stop busing illegals from New York City to his northern New York County after two of Adams' migrants were arrested and accused of rape in Erie County shelters. The influx of illegal aliens has easily reach crisis level, according to CBS News. More than 95 more. I'm sorry. More than 95,000 migrants have arrived in New York since the spring alone. 95,000. It's more than that actually. It's more than 95,000. I wouldn't be surprised if there's already like a freaking million there, to be honest with you. I mean, but that's what they wrote here on Breitbart News. So this, yeah, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? What do you expect, dude? One second, guys. You become a sanctuary city. You open your doors to your house. Some people say, "Oh, That's alarmist talk." No, it's not. It's true. If I open my house door to everybody, people that I don't know are going to come in and do whatever they want. Yeah, come on in, blah 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 blah. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that viral video where the guy was watering his grass and some dude comes up to him with three um they put um they're asking the guy with three they're probably playing illegal immigrants, and he's like he's a Biden supporter. Has a shirt. It's like, come on in, hey, can you take care of this dude and that dude, that viral video? He's like, no, they're not my problem. Well, then you don't support it's you only support them when it's convenient for you, but when it comes to your doorstep, oh, no, 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 you can't come in my house. I pay for this, I pay for that, I own this, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, well, exactly. Like I said before in my previous podcast, this is actually a slap in the face to the um, immigrants who come here on work visa, who come here to try to live the American dream, who come here and they do things legally to become an American citizen. That's the American dream by doing it legally. These illegal immigrants that are on the streets and et cetera and stuff like that doing, they I'm s- I'm sorry, they don't deserve my respect. They don't whatsoever. None whatsoever. It's the people that the people that have my respect are the ones that come here legally and do things legally. Like I said, you can't say that they're all asylum seekers. You know what I mean? So I mean, to me, that's just um that's a cop out. So, yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and we're gonna go over to Callahan versus Kerry for you guys that don't know what it is. I'm about to show you. 1 second, please. Let me present. Let me stop sharing first. Here. Oh yeah. Hey, yo guys, I'm getting good at this. Oh. Yeah, finally, right? Yo, yeah, it's gonna get better after this. I'm gonna, I'm trying to pop on here as much as I can, but you know, and I'm gonna talk about news that other people are not talking about per se, because I just don't want to sound like an echo chamber. Cover the debates. Yeah, yeah, well, whatever. It's just to me, it's kind of it's a need to know thing, but just I don't like sounding like a dang echo chamber, man. I hate it. It gets on my nerves. Here you go. The Callahan legacy. Callahan v. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you guys. I'm just gonna, you know, talk talk over basically Callahan v. Carey and their legal right to shelter. So touch point, the landmark victory in 1979 lawsuit, Callahan v. Carey paved the way for further legal victories that ensure the right to shelter for homeless men, women, children, and families in New York City. When modern homelessness first emerged in the late 1970s, thousands of homeless New Yorkers were forced to fend for themselves on the streets, and many died or suffered terrible injuries. In 1979, a lawyer named Robert Hayes, who co-funded Coalition for the Homeless, brought a class action lawsuit in New York State Supreme Court against the city and state called Callahan v. Carey, arguing that a constitutional right to shelter existed in New York. In particular, the lawsuit pointed to Article 17 of the New York State Constitution, which declares that the aid, care, and support of the needy are public concerns and shall be provided by the state by such of its subdivisions, as it should be. Makes sense, right? Every state has their constitution and how they state should run things. I agree with this. Why not? It's we the taxpayers put money in into the state, and it state federally and federally. So you know you should be looking out for us, Americans. The coalition brought the lawsuit on behalf of all homeless men in New York City. The lead plaintiff in the lawsuit, Robert Callahan, was a homeless man suffering from chronic alcoholism, whom Hayes had discovered sleeping on the streets in the Bowery section of Manhattan. On December 5th, 1979, the New York State Supreme Court ordered the city and state to provide shelter for homeless men in a landmark decision that cited Article 17 of the New York State Constitution. So basically, by entering into the decree, New York, the city and state agreed to provide shelter and board to all homeless men who met the need standard for welfare or who were homeless by reason of physical, mental, or social dysfunction. There you go. See? Thus, the decree established a right to shelter for all homeless men in New York City and also detailed the minimum standards which the city and state must obtain in shelters, including basic health and safety standards. In addition, Coalition for the Homeless was appointed monitor of shelters for homeless adults. But before they signed it, this article was saying here before they signed it into law, Callahan died in the street in the streets of Lower Manhattan, Lower East Manhattan, Lower East Side of Manhattan, uh, while he was sleeping on the street. So Fortunately, he died. Thus, Robert Callahan himself was one of the last homeless victims of an era with no legal right to shelter. So yeah, you guys can go to Coalition for the Homelessness. Coalition for the Homeless. There you go. Homelessness. Coalition for the Homeless.com. You guys can go there and go read about it. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. So um you mean to tell me that all 95,000 illegal immigrants have let me see here. Uh, physical, mental, you know, disorders or social dysfunctioning. Social dysfunctioning, well, it's a new country for them, you know what I'm saying? Some of them may or may not speak English, who knows? But, you know, but that doesn't get them to, shouldn't be uh, having New York open more shelters because of them. No, you're illegal. That's why I say ship them back. And now New York is having a problem with it. Yeah, well, like I said, you made your bed, you live in it. All right. Enough about that. You get what you get, New York. You see that? You see that? You get what you get. Yes, you do. You vote, you vote, you vote, you vote. You don't vote for policies. You vote for feelings. Voting should never be about emotion, emotions, or I'm sorry, personal, like, say, oh, Donald Trump's racist after he, disavowed white supremacy, blah, 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 yada, 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 this and that. Oh, you vote, you know what I'm saying? It should never be, it should be about policies. That's the logic standpoint of it. Or voting should be about policies. You're you mean to tell me that New York City, you know, I believe Rudy Giuliani, yeah, I believe he's a Republic. It was a Republican mayor, and that was like the first time in like decades that they had a Republican mayor. But then you don't quote me on that. But you vote Democrat, and this is what happens. Look at California. Look at all the blue states. Donald Trump was right when he said, if you vote Democrat, your whole country is going to look like run down. If you know what I'm saying, I'm paraphrasing it here, but it's true. Think about it. Crime infested, illegal infested. Uh, you name it. That's what basically it is. So I don't know if you guys heard about. We're moving on to Jordan Peterson here. Um, oh, here we go again. This is what I do. Um, Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you guys heard about it. Um, he is actually being uh he's trying to Canada's trying to strip his license away from him because he made a personal tweet online about trans um trans and climate change, how's this, tearing America apart and stuff. It's just his own personal deals that personal opinions that he made online, and Canada wants to strip him of his medical license. And this dude, I recommend you go watch his um his interview. He talks about this in more in detail than what this article gets gets to, because the thing about it is that his daughter is interviewing him, and he's pretty pissed off, as it should be, because you know it's free speech. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be. It's like we're telling you, telling the people out there, us podcasters or content creators are telling you, free speech is at war. At there, it it's in danger. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody should have free speech. That's the First Amendment. That's your, that's your God given right, to speak out and whatever. But everybody else has their heads buried in the sand because, if it ain't affecting me, then I don't worry about it. Which it will one day affect you because you know what? Those are you. Those are the people that are speaking out. Me, other content creators out there. Sooner or later, they're gonna, and then they're gonna come after you, just like just like if we don't learn from history, that's the reason why we have to learn from history, guys. Simply because we're doomed to repeat it. If we're not learning from history, we're gonna do to repeat it. We are gonna repeat it. Like I'm gonna put it out there. It's the truth. Love it or hate it. That it's gonna happen. And then you're gonna be like, damn, I should have listened to those content creators, those I thought they were all conspiracy, conspiracy, crazy conspiracy theorists. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Come on. Anyway, so chilling. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Dr. Jordan Peterson is forced to undergo re-education to retain license because of social media posts. So, yeah, the statement Peterson made on social media did not relate to the practice of psychology, but rather his opinions on gender ideology, the medical mistreatment of minors with regards to trans surgery, climate hysteria, and criticizing Canada Prime Minister Justine Trudeau. Like, really? Like, is that his name? I thought it was Justin Trudeau, not Justine. Really? Like, oh my gosh, dude. Okay, with a name like that, I would actually think he's gay. Like, seriously, like really. Like real talk. Just like what the like really? Bruh. But anyway, the complaints were made by members of the public, not by any individuals who Dr. Peterson has ever treated. Yeah, go check out his interview with his daughter about this. He goes into far more detail, and he's pissed. He's really pissed about it, rightfully so. He says before the verdict, Peterson said the decision of an Ontario court re the allegations levied against me by at CP or Ontario is due tomorrow. I stand by what I have said and done and wish them luck in their continued persecution. They're they're going to need it. I tweeted and otherwise expressed my opposition to trans surgery butchery, which it is. It is butchery, and his minions and the lying climate apocalypse mongers. All that all that's looking pretty good from my end, and if I can express such opinions in Canada, I will let the world know. So, oh shoot, what the heck? No, 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 no. Here we go. Give me 1 second, guys. No. What the heck? All right. There we go. Has this pause feature that, when you're recording, you can pause it, you can restart it, it's supposed to limit the editing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ooh, I'm loving this. So anyway, I just used it by the way. So um anyway, so yeah, where were we? Yeah, Jordan Peterson. Give me a second here. Yeah. So here we go. I just clicked on a stupid thing here. Um Real quick, he said this okay. Yeah, he stands by what he says, as rightfully so. Somebody got butthurt over something he tweeted. Like, are you serious? Like, wow. Like, and wow, it's just, you should be able to express yourself no matter what in this world without people getting butthurt about stuff. It's sad. It's crazy that this dude's about to lose his license and he has to go to re-education stuff. But this is what he said, though. Although Peterson applied for a judicial review, saying the professional body had no say in the personal online commentary, the application was dismissed by the Ontario Divisional Court. CBC reports that the ruling asserts the college decision falls within its mandate to regulate the profession in the public interest and does not affect his freedom of expression. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? What's up? Peterson told CBC News, I will comply with their regulations, but I'm not going to do it in secret. And the reason I'm not going to do it in secret is because I don't believe I've done anything wrong. Facts. So he's this is what he said too. He's like he'll go to re-education camp. This is what's gonna happen. I will video record all further hearings and mandatory re-education training courses and broadcast them unedited on YouTube for the world to see. I swear it by all that is holy. This dude's a beast, bro. Like Jordan, I love Jordan Peterson, bro. I love I love the way he thinks, man. It's just awesome. But he's right about that. He should. Oh, and get this. Check this out. The post millennial reports as Gateway put it. They said the college required in January that Peterson work with Dr. Eric Abner or Gail Siskin to review, reflect on, and emulate his professionalism in public statements, and to complete the coaching program within 6 months of receiving the ICRC decision in this matter. The cost would be on Peterson to pay, and these consultants charge an hourly rate of $225 per hour. The program could be extended at the discretion of the coach if Peterson progress was not to their liking. Are you serious? You and this he tags Elon Musk and Musk says that that is extremely concerning. He put to clarify, it's been decided I either submit to social media communications, retaining, or face a disciplinary hearing and possible suspension of my clinical license and the right to represent myself as a psychologist. I have been accused of harming people, although none of the complaints involved in the current action were clients of mine, past or present. Hold on. I've been accused of harming people, although none of the complaints involved in the current action were clients of mine. Among this time, it's a mistype of mine, past or present, or were even acquainted with any of my clients. So you know, they sign an online petition. There's an online petition out there. Has been organized calling on the Ontario College of Psychologists to rescind their unreasonable, undemocratic, and punitive decision to sentence Dr. Jordan Peterson to mandatory re-education. Yeah. So if hold on. So he has his license on the line. He's gonna comply, even though he doesn't want to, because he doesn't want to lose his psychologist, his license, because he's worked his whole life for this shit. And then on top of that, Canada wants him to pay $225 per hour for a re-educational class. Um, well, Canada, if you have a problem with his speech and you're doing this to his medical license, you should be able to pay for his re-education camp. You should. You have a problem. You have a problem of what he said, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna expect and you're gonna have him pay $225 for what he said when you have a problem with what he said? Come on, bro. Oh, we'll teach him. He'll have to pay 220. He'll have to pay all expenses, even though we as a country have a problem on what he said to what he said. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that's a freaking clown world, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, wow. Like, and then going back to New York, they say, "Oh, common sense caucus." You know what was common sense? You not becoming a sanctuary city. You know what's common sense? If the people in New York stop voting freaking Democrat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Republicans are all be all. But I mean, come on, you gotta at least if there's an independent, like vote them, vote an independent in. If there's an independent on the ticket, like seriously, like wow, really? You went from another shithead to another shithead. It's like congratulations. Like, come on, man. People, we just gotta start voting. And I've always said this too. Policies. Policies, policies, policies. Stop buying into what the media is feeding you out there. Stop it. It makes no damn sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever for you to be able to vote for out of feelings. Like just vote. Look at the policies. Go on the internet because some of you guys are proving Joe right. I mean, come on, like go online. Everybody's on their phone. Like, come on. Like everybody's on their phone. Like, look up their policies. Look up the mayor's policies. Look up the president's policies, like the Congress, like everything. Everybody's look at their MO. Like, what's their sheet, man? What's their rap sheet? And then when they don't freaking do what they say, we hold their feet to the fire and vote them out. It should always be like that, guys. Your younger generation, it should always be that way. Policies. That's what I taught my kids. I'm like, go on policies. If your policies align, if you're thinking or whatever aligns with with a candidate that's running for president or whatever the case is, okay, you can go ahead and vote for them. But if they do all this, talk, 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 talk. And then they don't do their actions, their actions spoke. You go off of their actions. You know what I'm saying? Rather than their freaking words. Actions speak louder than words, right? We got to start voting for policies, America. We have to. Because if we don't, we're, we're gonna get screwed. And Trigger said it best. Shout out to Trigger anyway. Shout out to Trigger. Yeah, shout out to that dude. Go check his podcast on Spotify and Apple and all that stuff out because he's telling you guys also the Americans out there that we have Senate seats to win. We have to start getting, they want us to focus on the presidentials. We need to start focusing on the Senates, the Senate seats, which, like I said, that's what we need to start doing. Which I'm sorry, retract that. I agree with them. We need to start worrying about the Senate seats because we need to get the House in order. Because right now we don't have the votes as Republicans or whatever as Republicans. The Democrats have most of the control. So we need to, start voting on policies, guys. Policies. Not because the media don't do what the media tells you to do. Do the opposite because the government owns the media. You control. You can once you control the media, you control the narrative. I think somebody Seymour, the dude that played on Hunger Games, the dude that he died several years ago. I think his name was Seymour something, but there was a movie that he said you control the media, you control the narrative. It's true. Yep. Follow who controls the media, guys. Really, and then you'll see what we conspiracy theorists are talking about. Anyway, 46 minutes, doing a good job. We are gonna go to. I'm gonna end this podcast, but first, before I end it, duh duh duh. Happy endings. Get your head out of the gutter, guys. The way that I like to end the show. Check this out.
I work out every day. Man, I appreciate this.
Ooh.
You can give it to the kid back there, man. I don't eat donuts.
A bullshit?
Oh, now you ain't playing?
Kid, I hope you know that's just a stereotype. Not all cops like donuts.
A bullshit? A bullshit.
Give me 1 second. Let me refresh. Oh, let me refresh that for you guys real quick. All right, here we go.
Stereotype. Not all cops like donuts.
A bullshit? A bullshit.
Listen to you, kid. I promise you, that's a water weight. I work out every day.
Bullshit?
Oh man, I appreciate this. You can give it to the kid back there, man. I don't eat donuts.
A bullshit?
Kid, I hope you know that's just a stereotype. Not all cops like donuts.
A bullshit? A bullshit.
Listen to you, kid. I promise you, that's a water weight. I work out every day.
Bullshit?
Oh man, I appreciate this. You can give it to the kid back there, man.
That's so funny. Yep. There you go. Bullshit. Oh man. You know what? You guys have a good night. Hey, love to see you guys' faces. Awesome. Remember. Oh yeah, another thing. One more thing. Whoop whoop. 107 subs and on YouTube. Yo, push that move over to Rumble because you know what? I've been hearing conservatives getting popped on YouTube. So yeah, I may start doing some streaming on YouTube on Rumble. Yeah, so you guys can hop on that Rumble account. Yeah, I'll be there too. So I'm gonna start streaming a lot on Rumble because of course as you see Facebook and YouTube are a bunch of so yeah. So anyway. So hey, you guys have a good night. Be safe out there. Enjoy your damn weekend, guys, because you know what? You earned it. For those people that work the weekend, sorry. But enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there, guys. Peace and love.